Welcome to the CEN show where we present the voice of the community. The CommunityEducationNetwork.com is a platform to aid the effort of self and collective improvement and also action programs to implement for positive change. I would like to share the screen so I can show you the website. We have two new members. We have Dr. Terry Strong and CJH Moore just joined the team with more to come. And I also would like to share the community actions page. Ideological programs to affect humanistic positive change. So we got one concept up already that could possibly happen if we keep Dr. Terry Strong's her vision going here. So it's the black table, and here it is. So if you visit the website, you can check it out, and we'll get more programs up there to help our cause of making things better. All right. I am your host, Rasaki Maskani. Tonight's topic is holistic wellness. Tonight's guest is Brother Mills. I met this young man at New Earth Health Food Store in Compton, whose founder, Dr. Paul Goss, just recently transitioned to join the ancestors. Blessings to him and all the great work he did. Brother Mills, how are you this evening? And please tell us more about yourself.
Peace and blessings to the family. I'm doing great. All has been well. It's just been I've been very busy during these times. Very busy, but all is well, man. All is well.
Good. So I have a few questions for you, and then we want to hear your presentation this evening. So
sure.
First of all, Dr. Paul Goss meant a lot to the community with his health products and services. What can you tell us about his contribution to you and the relationship you have with him?
Oh man, true. So Dr. Goss is my cousin, second generation or third generation cousin. And as far as his contribution to me, man, I don't know where to start. He was one of the pillars that really got me on the holistic journey. As far as just actually studying it, a lot of it was for self-education. I grew up an athlete my whole life, so a lot of when it came down to just learning about the herbs, it just stemmed from just being around it. Like I said, this is a family business, and he's family, so just being around the herbs and the whole holistic practice and approach, I was really familiar with it. But he was the one that guided me and coached me as far as what herbs I needed for this and that, and also he just would tell me a lot about doing my own research when it comes down to different foods and medicines and things like that. So big contribution, man, huge contribution as far as, being a pillar when it came down to my knowledge and wisdom. And even just the journey of learning about the herbs.
Okay. About a year ago, I was at the store purchasing some herbs for a superfood mixture that I, usually get. And I specifically asked you about, I said, what herbs can I get that's good for superfood? You said, well, all the herbs are superfoods. So you kind of stunted me for a minute because I was like, wow, so I don't know what to get, but go ahead and elaborate on that, man, about all the herbs being a superfood.
Yeah, so the term superfood is really a marketing term that is used to basically emphasize that this particular herb has just a lot of nutrients in it. And if you actually study a lot about herbs, and as I started studying, I started to learn that all herbs have multiple benefits to them, and it is not just directly towards one health condition or concern. And so when I made that statement, it was really just trying to shed light. Like, all of the herbs have, a lot of benefits to them, depending on, what specific herb we're talking about. But I also understand the concept of what they mean when they say superfood. And it's basically saying, these particular herbs are high in the daily nutrients, as far as, your vitamins A, B, C, D, and all of these things. So I get the concept, I get the term behind it, but that was really something that I said to really spark a little conversation so we can continue to go on about the different herbs and things. I like to just, make certain statements or do things to get people's minds to start thinking and questioning and asking more. So I think that worked.
Okay. Yeah, I thought that was something. I was like, wow. And I said, this young brother coming like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
man.
man. So go on and tell us about holistic wellness.
Yeah, man. So when I first got involved with the holistic practice of not just herbs, um, but learning and understanding that when we use the term holistic, there's a whole aspect to this, which is the mind, the body, and the spirit. And in most cases, when most people hear of the term holistic, most people only their mind tend to think about just, the herbal aspect, or the aspect of, what they eat, or what they drink or diet. But I really emphasize with people, when it comes down to holistic, you want to also take that approach with the spirit and the mind as well, because learning the body, you understand that diet isn't just about what you consume with your mouth, but it's also what you consume with your eyes, what you consume with your ears. Because that also affects the environment that's in your mind, and your mind itself can be either healthy or toxic, which can also communicate to the rest of the body, and it can send out chemicals, which then filters out and goes into the different organs in the bodies. And your mind can literally, through your thoughts, you can literally think certain thoughts about yourself, which could then trigger down into your gut, which then can affect your appetite, or affect you from your mood being affected. It can cause you to have digestive problems. So a lot of people don't understand the importance of this holistic aspect of mind, body, spirit, and they only focus on diet. And even when it comes down to the physical diet, the actual aspect of also understanding, like, just to even eat healthy requires you to have a certain mental strength to be able to stay disciplined and to be able to stay consistent. You know what I'm saying? When you're eating certain foods and taking certain herbs and drinking water or exercising, these things require a certain mind capacity and a mental strength to even excel and to be able to conquer whatever physical goals you have, and to maintain this healthy body.
So that's basically what you mean by holistic wellness.
Absolutely, absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay, so I'm gonna go around the panels and see if people have questions or want to make a comment. I'm gonna start with Sister Aziza. Sister Aziza,
Yes.
Okay. Have you ever
Oh,
visited?
I don't have a question.
But have
Right.
you ever been to the health food store lately? Is-
Actually, I have. I go to the one, by your mom
Yeah.
or
So
whatever, and
so Brother Mills be in there. He don't look familiar to you?
oh, let me see. Oh yeah. Okay. Absolutely.
Okay. So you
Peace to you,
don't
sister.
you don't have no questions for him?
No, not at the moment.
Okay. All right. Let's go to Brother Doctor.
No questions right now.
Okay. Brother
And
Mashenda,
wait, hey, where's the store located at? Where's that at?
right around the corner from where you grew up.
So
Okay,
the
you know what?
address is
I'm gonna say this. I remember when I was in probably the fourth, fifth grade when they built the place. I remember I went in there when it first opened up. That's when we didn't know what health food store was, and went in there and asking questions. When I was like, fifth, fourth, fifth, sixth grade, right across from the barber shop over there. Can't remember that street. It should be 500 block. I know that. But okay. Well, I come back with a question.
Okay.
To answer the question, I didn't mean to cut you off, brother, but to answer the question, that if you want to get the actual address, it's 523 West Compton Boulevard. That's the address.
Okay.
Oh
Well,
yeah, yeah. It was right behind me, man. I was at 518 West Magnolia, and I remember when they first opened up the store, man. When I was a little kid. Yep.
okay. Let's go to before we get to Brother Mashenda. Let's go to what happened to let me see. Oh, more. There it is. Recommendations. Let's go to recommendation page so we can see if we have that. Okay. What's going on with okay, recommendations page. Here we go. Computer moving kind of slow. So we got the card on here. So we got Dr. Paul Goss, president, and he's at 464, but it's right down the street. But this is what we
Right,
have.
yeah, 464.
That's
Sorry,
where the
brother man.
office. That's the office.
Correct. Yeah, 464 is where the office is located, and 523 is where the retail store is at.
And then the new address is going to be in the 400 block too, right?
Correct. Yeah, yeah.
The
It's
new
on 400
location.
block. I think it's 464, but I could be wrong. Yeah.
Okay, well that's where the office is. So okay, all right, Brother Mashenda.
Hey, what's going on? No questions tonight. Just listening. Familiar with the product. I've been a staunch supporter of it for years. I did some studying under Dr. Goss many years ago. Used to attend a lot of his classes Tuesdays and Thursdays when he was in town, and so it's helped my position out in life. So I totally recommend uh, serious lifestyle changes, and that's it. It motivated me way back in the day, and to this day, I'm still somewhat on point, with what things that I eat. So, but anyway, appreciate the brother coming on tonight.
Appreciate you, brother man. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Okay, Professor Rob.
Bonnie Ghani again, Brother Mills, and we really want to thank you for picking up the baton to keep New Bodies going. Before I get started, I want to pay homage to a few people that made their transition, including Dr. Goss and all his contributions to the forward flow of our people from the standpoint of health and, as you say, holistic health, mental spiritual, and your physical practice. We also want to pay a homage to Miss Kemp, Miss Maxine Kemp, that made her transition. She's a stalwart in the Compton community, Compton High School, and she's mentored many young people, was very supportive of young people, fought for young people in the school district, and just loved and cared for by many of the people in the city of Compton. We also want to wish well for Jesse Jackson and his wife. They're suffering from COVID, and they're still in the hospital, and we hope that they will recover, and hope that their family, stay strong. Also want to pay homage to Michael Williams, who have a Compton connection, the actor that played on The Wire and a number of other pictures. He's the brother of Michelle Chambers, who was a city council person for the city of Compton. And it's devastating, the sudden death of this actor. Also with the brother Fuquan Johnson, the comedian, the Black comedian that be at the Comedy Store. He also made a transition. As well as, we pay homage also to Sam Cunningham. We used to call him Sam the Bam Cunningham, who played for SC, who started Alabama, I think, and started the diving over the people and knocking people down to make touchdowns. He made his transition. And we also want to, give homage to all those people that have lost their lives in the floods, lost their homes in the fires, that they recover. So, it's always good to respect and honor those that, have made a contribution to our lives, and may the good they brought in the world last forever, may none be lost. Let me get to this issue, Brother Mills. Again, we want to thank Dr. Goss and New Body Health Store for their inspiration, as well as their treatment, holistic treatment of people throughout California and everywhere, especially Simply Wholesome, modeled after you, and other aspects, him going out buying property in Arizona and urging people to come to his conferences, workshops, and him cultivating that area to grow products, as well as other properties they have in other states, as well as just many people put so much faith in his diagnostic skills through iridology, looking in the eyes and being able to make diagnoses and recommending to people how to heal various diseases and illnesses that they have, that was just a profound aspect. Holistic medicine goes back almost to the beginning of human consciousness. Holistic medicine, way before there was doctors and hospitals, people practiced holistic medicine. They had Oriental medicine, they had medicine in India, they had medicine throughout Africa. They called them witch doctors, and then they called the Native American the medicine man. All of them used herbs and used their aspects of trial and error with herbs to better their communities, and was looked upon. Even today, on the continent of Africa, they would rather go to their traditional medicine people or treatment people or doctors rather than to deal with medicine. Even when it comes down to prophylactic, when the HIV virus broke out, even with Ebola, and all the things that happen on the continent, from malaria to testy fly, they use herbal medicine to treat it, holistic medicine. So it's a situation where we have to recognize the history of what Brother Mills was saying, that it's more than just a change of lifestyle, change of diet, or just taking some herbs and think. It's about getting your spirit strong enough to endure that transformation and that consistency. So we look at that from that standpoint. We know the word MD means medical doctor. That means drug dealer, as far as doctors are concerned. And they used to have pharmacies, they called them drug stores before they started calling them pharmacies. And so the same thing is that I just want to, before I go even further, because I do have some more narratives, but I'll wait. But the biggest issue that I think people have, that a lot of people, Dr. Goss used to focus on, and that is the white stuff, the salt and sugar, the most addictive aspects. People be eating and drinking salt and sugar, and they think they're eating food, but it's just salt and sugar, a seasoning, and what they would call food additives are some of the biggest issues with regards to obesity and diabetes and kidney issues. Brother Mills, what is the recommendation? I know CKLS and olive oil is one. Are there any other aspects of treatment from a holistic standpoint that has been discovered by Dr. Goss or you or a new body to deal with that addiction and to deal with making people aware that they may not even think they're addicted to it, but you know, they're driving in and out of McDonald's and jacking the boxes like at crack houses. So go ahead.
Yeah, you said, you pointed out something that is a major thing, and that is that our people have been addicted to the salts and the sugars and additives and things like, and it's ridiculous. I've seen so many people transition, and I'm sure that everyone here can relate to people who transition that had control over what they put in their mouth. It was health issues that could have been prevented or could have been dealt with if they would have just mastered their taste buds and not allowed their taste buds to run them. To answer your question, so there is a combination of herbs that Dr. Goss formulated called Freedom, which also assists with cleansing the blood. I heard you mention the CKLS, which is responsible for cleaning out the colon, the kidneys, the liver, and the spleen. So it detoxifies those organs. Of course, with the olive oil, which helps with lubricating the intestines to make everything flow out of those organs a lot more smoother. But the Freedom is a great blood purifier, and that cleanses out the bloodstream. And one of the things that I learned from my cousin, Dr. Goss, is that you want to make sure that your blood is always clean. Having clean blood is very important because the blood travels throughout the entire body. And if your blood is toxic, that those toxins float around and travels throughout the body. A lot of health ailments and diseases also happens within the bloodstream. So it's very important to clean your blood out as well, especially for people who are trying to detoxify themselves from like the salt or sugar addictions. And then also, I would also recommend for people to clean out or remove parasites out their bodies as well, because the parasite is another big issue, because parasites often are in most people's bodies from when the food decays and rots, especially if you consume meats. And so the problem with that is when you have parasites inside your body, the parasites then start to eat up the foods and eat up all these things inside the body. and it leaves you still feeling hungry after you've ate an hour or two ago, and now you're hungry again. Then you have these cravings, and you start feeding these cravings due to the parasites being inside the body. And the more and more you feed these cravings, the more the parasites start to formulate, and they just start to spread, especially with the sugars and the salts. So definitely I would suggest those two in addition. And if necessarily have to get those, but just cleaning out the blood and removing parasites, there's different herbs that you can take for that as well. And then there's also Genemia sylvester, which is an herb that is good for people who have diabetes or sugar addictions, because it actually helps with the palate, and it communicates with the palate, so that way sugar in itself has to it. But it also helps with regulating the blood sugar levels in the body.
Yeah. Well, just another quick question. Dr. Goff did a lot of diagnosis and prognosis of people. Is anyone going to step up and take on that responsibility when people come in? Y'all got that together?
Yeah, we do have a few people that we are sending people to that was actually who studied under Dr. Goss that he taught. I'm also learning iridology as well, but there is other people who we do refer people to that we have as well. So I know a few of the brothers and sisters, they are very, very selective as far as just putting themselves out there during this time, due to the fact that they feel that during these times they're targeted, because they feel like they're considered a threat to mainstream medical practitioners. So they do like to keep themselves kind of very private, but we do have other people though that we do recommend for people to see. Yes.
Quick question. A lot of people sometimes want to mix herbs with traditional medicine. What is the position of Newbody on mixing taking herbs and medicine? The door's open.
Yeah, we definitely don't recommend the mixing of the herbs along with the traditional medicine, especially because of the fact that the traditional medicine, they're mostly chemical based, they're man-made. And so for those people who know like chemistry, when you mix certain things together, it causes a reaction that could be negative. So when we're talking the conventional medicine, or I just like to address it as the prescription drugs, there's a chemical reaction that could be harmful and detrimental more than it is beneficial. So what we do suggest for people because we do have people who be on the fence and they be skeptical about going the holistic route, and they still want to trust the prescription drugs. What we do tell them is to take the herbs and the prescription drugs 2 hours apart from each other. So if you do the prescriptions first, you give yourself 2 hours, and then you take the herbs. Or if you want to take the herbs first, give your body 2 hours, and then you take the prescription drugs. So however you choose to, you just give your body 2 hours of a gap in between from when you take the prescriptions as to when you take the herbs. So that's where we stand at, because there can be definitely side effects because of the clashing of the herbs and the prescription drugs.
The other thing is, how do you classify? Do you recommend acupuncture and yoga as a part of wholesome holistic medicine or treatment of the mind and pain?
Absolutely. Research has been done and has been proven to be very beneficial with both acupuncture and yoga with the mind and the body. Very relaxing for the nervous system, very healing for the nervous system and the body, and also other organs as well. Also, along with those things, I will also suggest that people look into what they call breath work or conscious breathing or alchemy breath work, where they have different breathing techniques where you also bring healing and restoration and even relaxation to the body as well. One of the things that's a lot of people lack, and which causes a lot of dis-ease in the body and inflammation, is a lack of oxygen. And so most people, I think the percentage is been researched to be 70% of people are breathing wrong, are restrict their breathing, should I say. And so they're doing shallow breathing where they're only breathing through the respiratory, and it's actually causing trauma to the respiratory, when we actually recommend people to focus on the diaphragm breathing, where you breathe the stomach and you actually breathe, to the lungs. And if you look at other animals and all the nature, you see like every other animal in nature, when they breathe, their bellies puff up and get big. And most people, when they take a deep breath, it's just typically the chest rises and the belly doesn't really, extend and get big. So when you inhale through the nose, it should be the diaphragm. The belly is what, protrudes and gets big. And then when you take your exhale, it's also through the nose. And, you also release through the nose, and it also releases, anything that needs to be out of the body. So ultimately, nose breathing has been found to be through research as well, healing for the body. So like I said, the deep breathing, acupuncture, and there's different aspects to acupuncture as well. Foot acupuncture, you can do acupuncture in the back, and there's different ways to do acupuncture. Yoga is definitely great. Also, sound healing is also great, whether it's through the singing bowls they have, or you can even go on YouTube and just type in sound healing or sound frequency healing. And they have the different frequencies and different hertz that actually communicates to the body in different aspects of the body on different levels. And then also just being in the sun. The sun is very, very healing.
Vitamin D.
And a lot of people are not absorbing enough sun. They're lacking the vitamin D and not absorbing enough sun, especially us as copper people. Those of us melanated people, we have a high need for that vitamin D. And a lot of people don't spend enough time in that sun, which is healing. So I would also suggest being in the sun and sun gazing are great aspects of healing, along with meditation, which is also great. So there's so many different layers and aspects when it comes down to healing, but it also just holistic wellness that are abandoned by a lot of people. A lot of people only focus on, like I said, on just one aspect, but so many layers to this. So many layers to this, man. And yeah, I just really utilize my platform, whether it's social media or when I am at the store helping people. I just really just utilize myself to just really just get the message to the people about that holistic approach when it comes to taking care of self. Like I said, you have to have a relationship with yourself and really speak good things to yourself, have good thoughts, think good things about yourself, not talk negative, not think negative, not doubt yourself. And if you do catch yourself in those negative thoughts, and then speak positively about yourself. So you have to know yourself. This body is divine. This body is amazing. The body is so strong and so powerful, and is capable to heal itself if you just assist it by feeding it the things that it needs and exposing it to the things it needs. So I just really, like I said, just really just push the message to people to know themselves and know the power that exists within us, within ourselves.
I just got a couple more questions, if you don't mind, Rashaki. I can't hear you.
I want to get Joe in there because he showed up a little bit, and then we come back, and then also I want to add to what Brother Mills was saying by showing people the perspective writing in power. Okay, Brother Joe. Brother Hendrick.
Yeah, yes, sir. I had to unmute myself. I don't want the dog barking and mess up the show or anything.
Okay.
I missed his initial presentation. I just chimed in when Brother Raw was talking. So I missed the first part. But as far as holistic medicine, I'm down with all of that. I go to, New Earth Health Food Store quite often. I use the barley and all of that, and echinacea, golden seal, and whatnot. And when I was going through a cleansing some years back, I want to ask the brother, since he works for the company, correct?
Yes.
Yes, brother. Yes.
Yeah, you guys you had a high concentrate seaweed in there. I believe it was called Dush Flakes or something like that. And
No,
go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I was gonna let you talk. I'm sorry. I thought you was in it.
A couple of packs of it years ago, and lately I went in and it doesn't seem to be an item anymore that they have in the store. So I was curious about that. Matter of fact, I went fishing yesterday.
I'm gonna talk to you when you come
And
back.
I've been seeing this brother in the store for years. Never knew his name. I just called him nephew. But he was a big Pittsburgh Steelers fan. You probably know what I'm talking about. And
Yeah.
and he's cousins with the guy that I went fishing with the other day. And I saw him. He came through. I said, "Man, what's up, nephew? I haven't seen you in a while." But anyway, getting off of that. Matter of fact, he told me he was still with the company, and he showed me Doc's obituary and all of that. But something else that I do. So a golf coach of mine who's a chemist, he's been having me on Shackley vitamins for years now. I usually take something for every internal organ I have. Then I do some other things that I do health-wise. Use your barley grass all the time. And when I feel some ailments coming on, I use, the echinacea, golden seal, and whatnot. And I also use the immune builder, the purple stuff, what the name of it is right now. But you take it at night It's to build up your immune system. So I'm very familiar with the store. I've been going there for years, and I was interested to know what was going to be, what was going to happen since his passing. But listening to you, you got people in place to carry on the thing with that. Next, I want to ask you, is osteopathic medicine the same as holistic medicine?
You said osteopath.
Medicine, yeah.
You say that one more time. What is it called?
Osteopathic, I believe is how you pronounce it.
I'm not really familiar with that term. I've heard so many different terms out here, man. It's interesting, man, the different terminologies and classifications that people have for different practices. Some new, some old, but I'm not familiar with that term, brother, man. So I can't even.
Okay, well, the reason I say because my daughter's in medical school, and that's what she's studying to be, not the traditional MD. It's called an OD.
Confirm or deny it.
Okay. Anyway,
Okay.
that was it. So I'll just come back with some questions later, but I just want to throw it in that I believe in the sun. I've been preaching that on the show. Matter of fact, we was getting ready to go to fish another day, and my boy's wife come out there with some sunscreen and all that. I said, we already have ours built in. We don't need none of that.
Right, yeah.
Our son gave
man, yeah.
Brother Raw calls me in the evening time, like, what you doing, man? I said, I'm in church, but I'll be really sun gazing, letting the sun build up that shot, all of that. So we get a laugh.
Yes, yeah, you know it.
And he's
you know what you're talking about.
I tell him, hey man, I'm watching you, Raw. Talking about the sun, God. So anyway, look, I'm gonna get the first part after Joe Rigo sends it out because I missed that part of what you were saying. But anyway, I have a big garden.
Absolutely.
I have a big organic garden in my yard. I'm growing all my own stuff. I fish from the ocean to get my stuff. And my daughter was showing me how to make bread, so I don't even have to go to the store. And I drink water like crazy.
Man, that's beautiful, man.
So anyway,
that's beautiful. That's what it's about. That's what it's about.
I'm 68 years old.
Yeah, man, that's beautiful. That's what it's about.
So anyway, I'll let somebody else get in. I just wanted to throw my 2 cents in there. And where's the office at? Where you gonna be?
So we're moving to a new building, which is literally, I don't know if you've been to the retail store. Oh, you said you have. Yeah. You've been to the retail store. So it's the next block over. Same street, same side of the street, just the next block over. It's a bigger building, 2-story building, actually. It will be the retail part. We are also integrating a restaurant, and also we're going to have community events there as well. So that way we as a people can come together and we can build kind of how we're doing now through this podcast, more in-person interaction, and we can, collectively build. So yeah, it's like I said, it's down the street, the next block over from the retail store, across the street from our distributor's office.
So is that going east or west from the store, from the shop, from the?
That's gonna be going east.
Okay, so it's not the other way. Okay, I'm trying to think of a 2-story building over there.
A lot of people, you know what? A lot of people say that because it doesn't look like a 2-story building from the outside, but when you go inside, you'll see it's a really big space, man. It's a really big space. So before, yeah, the next block over, yes. So Dr. Goss is my cousin. I don't know if you caught that end of it, but Dr. Goss is my cousin. So before he transitioned, he had a vision for the building and what he wanted to do. And so we're gonna do what we need to do to make sure that vision is accomplished. And I'm telling you, when the people see the people see it manifest and come, it's beautiful. This is for those who know Dr. Goss, they knew he had a heart for the people and he was here for the people. And so this project that we're doing, this new building is for us, it's for all of us. And we all really as a people would benefit from this deeply and would appreciate this. So that's why I'm doing everything that I can, and the rest of my family and loved ones are doing everything that we can to make sure this thing is it happens and is make sure that it manifests, because it's something we need, especially in the city of Compton for sure. There's nothing like this that I've seen before in LA County, and that's not to down anybody's businesses or any brothers or sisters' visions of what they have going on, but it's just we all have different, unique visions and positioning within helping us as a people. But this is very unique, and I really do. I'm glad that he was able to show us and tell us the vision before he transitioned, and so we got the vision, and so now we just making it happen. So yeah, definitely gonna be beautiful.
Okay, I guess he'll be back in a minute. He went out, but this is the perspective writing that I have called In Power, that focuses on that inner strength that we all possess. We just got to tap into it. So anybody can access it on the website, communityeducationnetwork.com. All right. So he should be coming back. He lost the connection. So we'll give him a few minutes to come back. Here he is. Okay, Professor Rob, you had a few more things you wanted to say and ask. You on mute, Professor Rob. Oh, he's talking to the family. But Brother Mills.
I'm here, sir. I
Okay.
don't know if you've seen it. I don't know if you've seen it. They let me out. I got out of it for a minute.
Yeah, I lost the connection, but I knew I knew you would come back.
Yeah, that was me, man. You know what? What happened is I'm using my phone right now, and so I have my phone set on a timer because I like to, and it kind of coincides. So I want to use this moment to be transparent because it coincides with what the conversation and topic is about this evening. But so what I do is I typically have my phone already set 2 hours before I go to bed, to where my phone will shut down and all my apps will just turn off. So I'm no longer basically able to utilize my phone. And I can just spend that 2 hours before bedtime to just kind of just focus in within myself, be off the phone, because of the fact that the blue light is bad for our brain, is bad for your eyes, and it messes up the serotonin levels when it comes down to sleeping. So I don't know if you're familiar or if anyone's familiar with the circadian rhythm, but there's our organs has particular times of the day where it's at its highest activity, lowest activity. So there's different chemicals that are released certain times of the day. So I just try to synchronize my life around that circadian rhythm. And so typically for me, I make it a set time for me to go to bed, which synchronizes with the circadian rhythm. And I arise the next day at a certain time, which also coincides with the circadian rhythm. So yeah, man, what happened was my phone just timed out and shut down because it was just letting me know, like, it's that time to get off the phone. It's that time to get off the phone and get away from this blue light, because, like I said, the blue light is bad for our brains, man. And it's a lot of studies that actually show that My cousin Dr. Goss talked about that. You know, you can hear other teachers talk about that. Dr. Layla Africa, Dr. Phil Valentine, and so on. And different brothers who spoke about, and their sisters as well, who spoke about, you know, the dangers of, you know, blue light for one, from these cell phones, TVs, computers, laptops, but also the artificial light from the, you know, our lights inside our homes, and how it's better to utilize, you know, candles or have dim lights. You know, because it's kind of challenging to necessarily be in the home when it's nighttime or when the sun goes down. So just to minimize the artificial lighting and stuff. So yeah, that was a transparent moment right there, man. It kicked me out because my phone was like, it's time to shut this thing down. So that's just what happened right there.
Oh, that's cool, man. That's some good information right there. Cool, man.
Absolutely.
Appreciate that. So I'm gonna go back. Amin Rob, I think Professor Rob was in consultation with his family.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm back. I'm back.
okay. Okay, Rob.
Just a couple of quick questions.
Okay.
When a young lady is pregnant, are there some, you know, a lot of women are going through Sicilian, what they call it, what is it? C-sections, and they're getting away from, you know, natural birth. Is there any herbs that help with natural birth?
Yeah, absolutely. One of the most powerful herbs that I would recommend for women, especially during their third trimester, is raspberry leaf. That is a very powerful herb that actually helps strengthen the uterus and helps with a strong, healthy delivery. And it helps the woman's womb, you know, be prepared for this delivery, and creates a good environment for the baby, while at the same time it gives the woman the nutrition that she needs, just for her vital organs as well. And so, yeah, it helps with strengthening the uterus, so that way she could deliver the baby without even having to have a C-section, and it will lessen the chance of her, you know, necessarily having any complications as well. So,
Okay. And the other
raspberry
question,
leaf will be the top herb.
So let's repeat that again. Raspberry wheat.
Raspberry leaf, the raspberry leaf.
Raspberry leaf. Okay.
the other question is,
Absolutely.
I have to commend New Birth for being able to sustain itself with the struggle when you had GMC and there was a couple of other herbal stores, but New Body held its own, and you have to commend it because they're up against national advertisement. But what is some of the difference between, you know, people, you know, it's like, you know, some people like to go to GMC, you see them in the malls and GMC and things of this nature, and right? But what is the difference between a New Body herbs and, you know, what's unique between the two? If you was going to, you know, deal with it.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
absolutely.
going to any store to get some herbs is good, but you know, what's the difference?
Yeah, that's an easy answer. So when it comes down to a lot of these conventional big chain stores who sell health products, such as you know, some of the names that you named, what happens is a few things. For one, you find that the quality of what they carry is either compromised or it is just very poor quality. So yeah, it's just compromised. And then also a lot of them have fillers inside of the capsules of whatever it is. And also you'll find a lot of man-made vital minerals, what they call vitamins, a lot of man-made vitamins there, as opposed to when you come to a New Earth health food store. What we carry is herbs straight from the earth that nature produces and provides us with. 100% organic. We are very, very conscious of the quality of the herb that we get. We stick with getting the herbs where they're commonly grown at, where the origin of the herbs are commonly from. And also, we're just very, very knowledgeable on the herbs to know what herbs is what, and we're not just hired, and we don't just work at the store, or we don't just work for the company. We actually know about the herbs, so we know what we're talking about. So when people come in, even if they don't know what they're looking for, which happens a lot of times, people don't know exactly what they're coming to get, but they know what they're coming for as far as certain health elements and things that they're concerned about. We're knowledgeable, so we know what herbs that they would take. So it's kind of like a mini consultation when people come in. And for those of people who have came in and had encounters with me, they know how I am. I'm very talkative and I'm very informative, and I make sure that I, engage with people, make them feel good, man, to come and just be here, a part of the experience. So it's not just like we're just coming to get your money. It's like we come to, provide you with a feeling of feeling good, but then also you get what you need to actually physically put it inside your body to help you feel good. So you actually make a connection with people, and this is just a different experience as opposed to coming into your average, multi-chain stores that is just giving you just products that is being mass produced where the quality is compromised. So to answer your question, it's really we offer genuine and true quality service and herbs as well.
All right. Okay, Rashiki, I'll say the rest for closing. You're on mute.
Brother Doctor.
No question.
Okay. So
I have one if you're getting ready to sign off.
yeah, go ahead, Brother Hendrick.
Yeah, Brother Mills, I heard you talk about the quality of the product and the vitamins that you sell, and I did mention to you, what I take and what I've been on for off and on for like 25 years, the Shackley thing, that a chemist teacher of mine turned me on 2 years ago, and that's what supposedly they promote, like using the best product, to make the vitamin without any fillers. And I tell people when they go in those GMC stores that a lot of that stuff has filler in it. So I want to know what was your opinion of the product Shackley, or even if you have an opinion on it.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that company or that product to really have an opinion on that. What I do suggest to people though, when it comes down to buying products, or not even just products, when it comes down to buying your foods at your local marketplace, is always to not just look at the front label part of it, because a lot of things that you'll find, the label will mislead you a lot of times, because it'll say one thing on the label, But then when you want to flip it over and look at the ingredients and see what's exactly in it. And then that's when you get your answer to figure out if this is something that I should put in my body or not. If it's something that you cannot uh, uh, find in nature, I would suggest people to question that. If it's not anything that is not provided to us by nature and is inside of your product and is inside of your food, question what that is. Research what this is. And like I said, you'll find out in a lot of cases, a lot of this stuff out here that's not really good for us. And that's even, and this is something that I also address often with people. This is even when it comes down to the vegan and vegetarian things that you find out. Everything that's not vegan and vegetarian is not healthy. And that's something that I definitely like to address because there's a lot of alternative meats that's out here that is not healthy. There's a lot of alternatives for ice creams, a lot of alternatives out here that you'll find that is labeled vegan or vegetarian and is still not healthy. When you read the ingredients and you see what's in it, it's not even food. It's not real life food. No food with no substance in it. No food with no nutritional value. No food that actually feeds our cells, because ultimately what we chew and eat, it goes through the process, through the digestive system and all these other processes, but it ultimately then communicates with the cells. So one thing I like to really tell people is whatever you put inside your body is either going to provide your cells with information or it's going to provide your body with inflammation. So it's either going to go two ways. It's either going to provide your body with information, something that your cells can download and utilize and communicate to the rest of your body, or it's going to provide your body with inflammation, which inflammation, as we know, is a dangerous thing. Once you introduce inflammation inside the body, now that's when you introduce all type of diseases and ailments and health problems, and joint problems, pain, and all type of problems exist within the body at that point. So you really want to be mindful to really pay attention to what's inside of it. And yeah, man, that's something that I really, really like. Really, man, that's something that I really, really like. Just try to get people to really understand, because it could be confusing out here. Because again, people are quick to go the vegan and vegetarian route, which is great. Plant-based route, all of that is great. Of course, I recommend that, but at the same time, it doesn't just end in that. Once you see this labeled as that, because if we gonna be honest about it, a lot of these chips and cookies is that you find that are in these conventional stores is considered vegan or vegetarian because there's no meat or dairy in it, but it doesn't mean that it's healthy. So yeah, referring to any products, any foods, any things, I always just suggest people to look at the ingredients and see what's in it. And I know for New Body's products, when you buy our products and you look at the label and you flip it to the ingredients, all the ingredients is listed is just herbs. That's it.
Last question.
Fillers, nothing else.
Last question. We were talking about, the eye examination of being able to tell what's wrong with a person. Could you recommend one of Dr. Goff's books that cover that stuff that I can buy at the store?
Yeah, absolutely. So he has a book called The Eyes of Forever Young. And that book gives a summary and synopsis, and then also helps people briefly, and actually it's kind of detailed actually, be able to identify different elements in the eyes as far as being able to tell. You can see certain signs in the retinas of the eyes to be able to determine, like, oh, okay, maybe something's going on with your kidneys, maybe something's going on with your liver, or maybe I have gallstones in the body that needs to be released, or maybe I'm dealing with parasites. And so yeah, to answer the question, the book is called The Eye of Forever Young, and we sell it at the store And other stores do carry that carry our products. They tend to carry the book as well. I want to say Shades of Africa in Long Beach, Sister Renee, they carry it there. And I believe Simply Wholesome carries it there as well. Those are the only two places that I could think of off the top of the head in Southern California that carries those books.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
No problem, man.
Okay, Sister Aziza had a question or a comment. Sister Aziza?
Yeah, I wanted to comment about being vegetarian. I'm going on 7 years now, and I just believe that
Congratulations.
you have. Oh, thank you. I just believe you have different type of vegetarians because a lot of people ask me personally, have I tried some new made up product or whatever? And I'm not that type of vegetarian. I'm not looking for like a meat substitute, and that's what some people are doing or whatever. I just personally I'm not in love with it or whatever. And I've kind of been like that my whole life. It took me, over 7 years ago to like finally realize like maybe I just don't really like it. I never, I don't know. Some people just love meat and I'm just not that one or whatever. But yeah, those made up products, I would tell people like, do you see what the ingredients are? And a lot of them is high in sodium. And I don't even know what it is. How can you even substitute something if you don't want to eat it no more? I don't think there's a substitution for that. Either you want to eat it or you don't.
Right.
And that's pretty much all I have. Oh, you know what? I do eat a lot of salmon. If I want to feel like I need some flesh or whatever. But I pretty much do live stuff or whatever. Because like you said, cookies and, whatever other products or whatever, those are not really vegetarian foods. Those are just, indulgence. They're just, I guess for guilty pleasures or whatever. But a real vegetarian, I don't think would be substituting for no packaged goods or whatever. I consume a lot of fruit. And if I don't eat a raw vegetable, then I will maybe like a saute it or steam it or whatever. I have a pressure pot or whatever. So I steam a lot of my, like kale and spinach and, just to name a few. I steam those items in there and, it tastes better in its natural form. I don't even have to add, nothing to taste or nothing. That's pretty much all. I just wanted to comment on that.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
So you mentioned Shades of Africa. Here it is on the recommendations page of the website. Okay, Shades of Africa.
Yeah, Sister Renee. Shout out to Sister Renee.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes,
well,
sir. I wanted to make a comment real quick, if that's okay.
Okay. Yeah. Just leave us with something. We want to get you back on, man. It's been very, very interesting and informative. We want to get you back on. So go ahead. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you for having me. Yeah, I wanted to say, in response to what the sister was saying, one of the things that from experience for myself that I had experience with was when I first transitioned into plant-based eating. I was 250 pounds at the time. I'm now 190, but I was 250 pounds at the time. And, I was working out, eating 6 meals a day. And so I wanted to maintain that 250 bulk and, was working out and things. So I started to introduce, when I did the plant-based eating, I started to introduce like the mock and alternative meats to my diet. And I would eat that frequently. So what ended up happening from my experience was over time, I want to say over a span of a few months, I think, eating, like I said, eating maybe about like 6 meals a day, but it was not all the alternative, plant-based meat. Some of it was like snacks and things like that. But, I was doing my fruits and vegetables, but I was eating the alternative meats and things. I started to have stomach issues and started to have digestive problems. And I never had those issues prior to that before. And it just kind of puzzled me because that was never a thing to me before at the time. And it would get bad to where I went from eating 6 meals a day to I was only able to consume 1 meal a day because it was hurting my stomach. And I would eat that 1 meal and my stomach would feel bloated and I couldn't eat no more for the rest of the day and I felt in pain. So long story short, I ended up going to the hospital, see a doctor, because it was just bad and I couldn't understand why I was having these problems if I wasn't eating meat. And all the time when I wasn't eating meat, I wasn't having these problems. So it just didn't make sense to me. So come to find out that the alternatives that I was eating, they weren't foods and they weren't digestible. So basically what I learned was a lot of these alternative meats that's labeled vegan and vegetarian, they're just chemicals that isn't even digestible. The body can't do nothing with it. So it can't digest it. So a lot of times when you do some research on it, you'll find that a lot of these alternatives are linked to leaky gut or irritable bowel syndrome or digestive problems because those alternatives is not real foods and you can't even digest it. So in actuality, you'll be better off consuming the meat than you would be the alternatives because it's not even anything. So you find instances to where people go that route and go into the alternatives, but then they later on have bloating and all these digestive issues. And we deal with these people. Then when they come to the store, they come to us and they tell us about these issues that they're having, and it's all linked to the alternative meats and the fake alternative shrimp, fake alternative burgers and things. And there is ways that you can actually make your own alternative, patty as such, like, with different aspects of, like a meat, if you want to do like a quinoa or like black bean burgers and mushroom burgers. So there are different alternatives, jackfruits. There are different alternatives.
Yeah, I would to replace jackfruit. I didn't mean to interrupt, but yeah, jackfruit I noticed is the main one.
Yeah. So there are alternatives to meat for people who are looking for alternatives to meat that isn't filled with chemicals and fillers and things. But it's definitely something that's a big problem that is becoming a thing in the vegan, vegetarian, plant-based lifestyle that isn't really being addressed. But yeah, just as in closure, all I would like to say is for people during these times that we're in, I just would like to really, really encourage people to take care of yourselves, love yourselves, learn your body, know your body, listen to your body, know what it needs. When it's time to rest, get you some rest. When you feel the energy is lacking, a lot of times it's linked to the gut. The gut and his stomach is connected. So a lot of times when you have brain fog, you can't focus, you can't concentrate, you're suffering from memory retention, not being able to remember things. A lot of these things and problems most times coexist with what's going on within the gut bacteria. Gut health isn't in order. So what you eat is directly affected with what's going on in your brain. Also, the way you think is directly affected with your gut health. So all of these things coexist. So love yourselves, take care of yourself, exercise, at least get the blood flowing, get some sweat going, at least 3 or 4 times a week, at least. even if exercising hasn't been a part of your routine, I suggest to people to start making it a part of your routine, even if it's for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, and you gradually make progress. Please get the blood flow going. Blood flow is important, because where the blood isn't flowing and the blood isn't going, that's where the things is that's where you have issues, because there's no life force going there. You lacking oxygen from that point. So you want to get the blood going, and lack of blood flow is a big problem within the community, for the people. So get the blood flowing. That will help with the heart health, because heart issues is one of the key components, which plays a factor into a lot of people having health issues these days and passing away. So go out there, get some sunlight, drink water. At least half your body weight that's how many ounces of water you should be consuming a day. And I tell people this all the time. Spring water is the most natural alkaline water. If you wanna alkaline your water, get you some key lime, squeeze that inside of your water. Drink out of glass jars as much as possible. Stay away from plastics. The chemicals that's used to make the plastics is dangerous and it's causing a lot of health issues. These cell phones, the Wi-Fi, Bluetooth is very dangerous. Even these headphones that we use is very dangerous. Eliminate as much as possible your exposure to these phones and to these electronics. If you talk on the phone, talk on the speaker. If not, use the headphones with the cord, but stay away from the Bluetooth as much as possible and Wi-Fi as much as possible. All these things is affecting our health. We already have a lot of things in the air, whether it's through pollution from like the air pollution or pollution from the frequencies with these towers and 5G. There's so many things that is going against our bodies. We cannot afford to go against our bodies ourselves and cause self-destruction. Matter of fact, shout out to the sister Queen Latifah for the song "Self-Destruction" that she had put out in the 90s. I believe that's the 90s. So yeah, man. Definitely, I recommend to people, take care of yourselves, get some sunlight, drink water, fruit. You get a lot of pure, uncontaminated water from fruit. Coconuts. Get you some coconuts if you drink coconuts. If you like coconuts, coconut water is excellent. Get you some coconuts. Slice the coconut up like a yard boy would. I'm Jamaican, so I'm a yard man. So slice you up some coconut. Drink the coconut water. That is excellent. It's high in electrolytes. Really good for the body, as opposed to the Gatorades and things. You can get you some coconut. Excellent with electrolytes and excellent for hydration. And meditation, like we mentioned earlier, meditation, yoga. Start speaking affirmations to yourself. Speak positive things to yourself. You are great, even if you don't see what it is right now that you want or you want to be at. Understand that you manifest your reality and you can get there. So speak these things to yourself and speak this life into your life and your reality. And know that there's nothing outside of you that can satisfy you but you. So just speak positive to yourself. Have a great relationship with yourself. Take care of self. This body is a vessel. This body is a temple. You can't do nothing if you can't take care of yourself. So it starts within the mind first.
Yes, sir. Powerful, powerful. We definitely want to get you back on, brother. Definitely. I appreciate you being here this
Absolutely.
evening.
And I appreciate y'all for having me.
Oh yeah, yeah. We want you back.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I appreciate Sister Aziza, Brother Doctor, Brother Mashinda, Brother Hendrick, Professor Amin Ra. Okay, Amin Ra, what do we have? Oh, here we go. We have it right here, Professor Ra. So on Monday, we got Conscious Corner with Amin Ra Joe Hendrick, Texas abortion law and its effect on the Black community. Is that right, Professor Ra? You on mute.
Hold on. We're gonna do the law, and me and Joe gonna add something else to it.
Okay.
So it'll be a double topic. I'll give it to you tomorrow.
Okay, double topic for Monday. Okay, and on next Wednesday we got Brother Straw. He's a educator and a comedian, and he's an impressionist, like Brother PB Smiley. That's I met PB Smiley through Brother Straw. So looking forward to that. All right, everybody. Each one teach one in Conscious Corner.
Word. Peace and blessings to
Good
everyone.
night. Likewise. Good night, everybody.